Hello and good afternoon, everybody. We are here once again with XCL, but we're at the sunny Suzuka circuit in Japan today. Track temperature's looking pretty warm out there, and we've got a good field of drivers, which means we should get some good action out there today. Looking at the practice times, it looks like there's going to be a few kind of racy people. Yeah, Shadow Gaming saying hello. I've been experimenting with the controller. Yeah, I've heard that you've been racing with the controller, and we have a Tender Genie in the chat as well. But yeah, as I was saying, the pace looks pretty good. The drivers look pretty good. Anyone that's new to XCL that's watching this as a first broadcast, we've got a lot of the rookie drivers in today. We obviously, because they're the ones with the red banners. The silver bannered cars are like bronze, silver graded drivers. Then we have quite a few gold, platinum drivers with the white banner. We have, I think, 4 out there today. But yeah, all in all, we've got good fast drivers, and we should see a bit of action out there. It looks like actually a Tender Genie is the first driver to get out on a flying lap, so I'll ride with him for lap 1. A Tender Genie, I think he won his first ever GT3 race yesterday, so he's on a bit of a high. Can he make it another win in 2 days? Will be quite good for him. Oh, as I say that, he's straight off on the first corner. Absolutely outbroke himself, and he's going to have to go back around and have another go. But yeah, I mean, I expect to see a Tender Genie probably up in the first 3 rows of the qualifying. Sabre was looking pretty spicy out there in practice as well. But again, you can't really tell much from practice because some drivers are, running high fuel loads. Some are in quali practice. You don't really know what kind of setup people are running. But yeah, it should be a good race. I'm looking forward to it. Feel free. This is just a standard open race. This isn't like a championship race or anything. So all the drivers are out there only really racing for their own XCL points. So basically, if they do well in the race, they'll get more points. If they do not so well, they'll lose points. So really, yeah, if you want to have a chat today, feel free to message in the chat, and we'll in the Twitch chat box, and we'll have a bit of a conversation. If not, just you can sit back and watch. Like I said, we should have a good 30-minute race today. Being a 30-minute race, it will just be a mandatory pit stop for splash and dash, so 2 litres of fuel. And then, just basically a straight-out sprint. You don't really get tyre wear affecting you on a 30-minute stint, not really. So yeah, everyone out there should really just be pumping in like quali lap after quali lap, really. So yeah, I'm hoping we're going to see a lot of racing. So Mr. Azon will be coming around to set his first flying lap. I don't know if he's defaulted out there. So normally you find over the first couple of laps it's very hard to keep up with, to take with who's actually on a flying lap and who's not. But let's see if Mr. Azon does set a benchmark time. No, yeah. Oh, he does. Yes, so yes, it's a 2:01.3. So 2:01's respectable time for sure. Looks like we have glow stakes as well, maybe on a flying lap. So let's see what glow stakes can do in relation to Mr. Azon's first time out there. So yeah, he goes 2.1 seconds back in the Mercedes. And then we also have the number 80 car. Is that Mark R Music? It is. In his famous red Porsche. I think he drives the old version of the Porsche, not the new one. But as he comes across the line, where does he settle into the first? Yeah, so he's on par with LSX, Pats, and Glow Stakes. Who else have we got? So we've got the number 37 car of Sabre. As I said, Sabre was looking pretty tasty in practice. So let's see what he can do on his first low fuel load run. It's Danny Boy in the chat saying, afternoon, everyone. Hey, Danny Boy, how you doing? Have you signed up to a race finally? But Sabre's coming up to the line now. What does he say on his first flying lap? He goes to the top of the timesheets. I did say he was looking like he had a bit of speed out there, and he goes a 2:01.3. I fully expect the qualifying time, the pole time, to be probably in the 2 minutes. But yeah, he'll be happy with that first initial time, and that puts him up there. Hope Blue goes into P3, just 0.2 of a second off of that. We have the number 75 car next coming around the sweeping left-hander. Where is he? That is Drone Lander. Let's see where Drone Lander can pop himself up into qualifying. We have 8 drivers currently have set times, and we also have a 24 car field, so there isn't a massively stacked field out there. You're signed up to the Monday multi-class. I'll be in the GT3. Okay, perfect. I don't know if I'm doing the multi-class race because I know I'm doing the championship race on Monday. I'm not sure what time the multi-class one is. As Dronelander pops himself up into P7, just ahead of Mark R Music. They should be battling quite hard out there today. Shadow Gaming on the controller. Let's see what he can do on his first controller lap. And as he crosses the line, he goes up to P4. 2.4 seconds off the pace, but he does... Also, he's been bumped down by a Tender Genie. A Tender Genie does go into the 2 minutes. With a 2 minute 0.4, we might even go down into the 1 minute 59s. But yeah, Shadow Gaming will be happy to be up in P5 currently on the controller. I do think Saber's a controller driver as well, is he? Or he used to be. I don't know if he is anymore. The 94 car of LSX Pats is coming around next. He is currently 3 seconds back. Let's see if he can improve as he comes across the line. He does not, is the answer to that one. 23 is next. Where is that? That's the TJJ. Alright, so it's 9 o'clock on Monday at Suzuka, and you're in the multi-class GT3 race. I haven't driven this track before, though. Maybe you should be out here now, Danny. There's still time to sign up. There's 7.5 minutes left. Why don't you quickly go onto the XCL website, sign up to this race, because clearly we've got room. And why don't you hop in here and come on the stream? I'm challenging you right now. Come on, 7.5 minutes. Get in here. No practice, no setup changes. Just come on and have a crack at it. See if you accept the challenge. The 200 car of Craig Mitt has just come across the line. He improves. He goes up to pole here. So he was the slowest of the time drivers, and now he's on to the fastest of the time drivers. A 2 minute 0.4 flat. Goes ahead of a Tender Genie. I told you this was a bit of a spicy grid here. And yeah, that we've got these times are starting to creep down a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing this in action. Duff Racer here. He's either a new driver or he is a gold platinum driver. I don't know if anyone knows Duff Racer. But let's see, we can probably tell that from his first lap time. And as he crosses the line, he goes 12 seconds off the pace. So maybe he's just on a bit of a slow lap. I shouldn't laugh. But yeah, I'm sure he's just gone slow. LSX Rossi. We have two of the LSX drivers in today. LSX Pats and LSX Rossi both in the race today. Rossi coming around. Let's see what he can do on his first lap. Tender G saying Craig Mitt did a 59.8 in practice. He'll 100% get pole. Don't say that. That's just you got to believe in yourself. Rossi goes up into P4, 0.8 of a second back. We have the number 13 car next of Hope Blue. Hope Blue currently 1.1 seconds back. I think he's probably got more pace in that car. He does improve. Again, he goes within a 10th of a second. So we now have 3 drivers within a 10th of a second of pole. So this is a really, really fast at the front. The 99 car of Snaggy Path coming up to the we still have what, 1, 2, 3, about 8 or 9 drivers that haven't set a time yet. Snaggy Path does go up to P14, so he'll be happy to get himself off the back of the grid. And as Sebdal crossed the line as well, he's our PlayStation driver. He is again the only PlayStation driver out there. He goes 2.2 seconds back. Some of these drivers are now starting to trickle in with times, which is good. Saber coming around again. He is 0.9 of a second back. Can he improve this time around? And as he crosses the line, he does. He shaves off about half a second of his time and goes into P5. So these times are still tumbling down. Craig Mitt coming now. Is he going to improve on his existing time? He does. He goes to a 2 minute 2:50. So he is getting faster and faster. We have the 95 car of Suavist Drake coming around now. He's 5.3 seconds back. I think he'll probably find some more time. Suavist Drake is now into P16. I could probably get you the password, Danny boy, but I'll see quickly. I've just asked the question. I might be able to quickly DM it to you, but you're going to have to literally get on it, get in the next 4 minutes. But I don't know if someone will respond to me. We'll see. Right, let's go back to the grid here. So what have we got? 970. We've got Clint Trends. Clint Trends, one of my Twitch channel subscribers. So just a big shout out to Clint Trends in the Ford Mustang here. We're racing all the way over from the USA. Wish him all the best in today's race, and I'll be cheering for you, Clint. See if you can get yourself up in the top 10 here. You need to find a bit more time. You need about 1 second to get up into the top 10 at the minute. But yeah, Big shout out to my subscriber. I will give you some screen time, of course, as Sebdor's coming around now to set his next flying lap. I've asked the question, Danny boy, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you in time. We don't have a responsive, unless Attender Genie. Attender Genie, can you DM Danny boy the password for getting into this race? I've got 3 minutes to get him in. Or if anyone is in viewing this race right now, can you just DM Danny boy the password so we can quickly jump in the race? He's going to try and see what he can do from the back of the grid. Just have yourself waiting, Danny boy. We'll try and sneak you in last minute. The number 21 car, who is that? That is Cug 21. Cug 21 coming. He looks like he's done a tight line there, so he must have a fast lap. And as he crosses the line, he does not improve, so that's ruined that theory. The number 30 car is next. That is OGFX1. 17.7 seconds off the pace. He's not going to be happy with that one. I'm sure he'll find something in a minute. Oh, Sprightly, I was just saying, no, he hasn't signed up to the race. I just, obviously, there isn't obviously a maxed out grid. There's only 24 drivers, and there's 2.5 minutes left of qualifying. So I'm saying if someone has the password to actually get him into the race, can we quickly just DM him on Discord or whatever, just give him the password so we can quickly get in before the timer runs out. I don't believe he has to be signed up as long as he knows the password. Because obviously it's not a championship race with a set entry list. But we just need to give him the actual password, but no one's responding, and I can't give it to him. I was wondering if Attender Genie in the chat or Sabre or if anyone's listening, they could have just maybe messaged him. Because as long as he can put the password in before the next 2 minutes, he can race. So Sprightly, if you can help, that'd be fantastic. Danny boy, just check your DMs on Discord just in case someone's trying to message you. Right, at the front then, it is still Krigmet on pole position. He has got a 159.7. Also another driver in the 159s is Ritson Flitzer. Ritson Flitzer just pops up here out of nowhere. I wasn't even expecting him to be near the front, and he is right up there as he goes sliding around that corner there. Attender Genie is holding third place here with Hope Blue in fourth. Both these drivers separated by 0.02 of a second. Sabre rounding out the top 5 1 second off the pace. But Krigmet looks like he is the fastest driver. Well, looks like this, so no one can get near him at the minute. There's only one driver within half a second of him. OGFX now was P9, so he was P17, but now P9. Over Mars saying this is greater than 24-hour Le Mans. What, the circuit or the race? Attender Genie, can you just quickly DM Danny Boy the password to get in the server, if you're listening? Can you just quickly go onto Discord and message him the password so we can get in quickly, last minute? Attender Genie, you can be the saviour here. Get him in. I'm campaigning. Get Danny Boy in the race. That Over Mars is saying everything. Over Mars, are you racing today? Are you out here? And also just to shout out that you're a first-time chatter, so thank you for hopping into the stream. Right, who else have we got out here? So I was getting distracted again. So at the minute, is Ritson Flitz out on track? No. Is Attender Genie? No. So none of... So Hope Blue is the only top 4 drivers out on track at the minute. He's just going to cross the line. Yeah, he's going to give himself one more lap. I don't know if he's got enough fuel in the car, but he literally crossed the line with probably less than a second to go. Yeah, this is, let's see what he can do on his last lap. There are a few drivers coming around to finish their laps, so I will stick with them, and then we'll come back to see what this guy can do. But Drone Lander, 4.1 seconds back, currently P18. He's got a few corners to go, and he's got a few drivers behind him as well. So let's see what these guys can do. I think he's got the 78 car behind him of Sabre, who is currently in 23rd, not to be confused with the other Sabre. We've got 2 Sabres in this race today. Over Mars, or Owen Mars, sorry, is supporting the TJJ, who will defo bin it, by the way. Oh, awesome. We'll keep an eye on him. He's currently in P17. Is Drone Lander, though, going to get ahead of the TJJ? And as he crosses the line, he does not improve. It's unfortunate for him. The 78 car of Sabre, he's opted to go in the pits. The 74 car next coming across the line, that is, where are you? I've missed it. That is Orkadot. Orkadot, as he crosses the line, does he improve? He does. He goes up to P10. So he shaved a second off of his time there. We also have OGFX coming around now. He's P7, 1.3 seconds back. Danny Boy is in. So Danny Boy has never raced this circuit before. He hasn't done any practice. He hasn't done any qualifying time. So he's literally going to go into this race at the back. I'm always working hard for my subscribers. So Danny Boy, thank you for 1, subscribing, and 2, for getting into this race. I'll keep an eye on you and see how far you can get up the order. OGFX does go P7, but then he's beaten by Sabre by the looks of it. And we have, it looks like that should be everyone now, isn't it? Because the only other driver out there has defaulted. So it is going to be Krigmit that does get pole position. We've got quite a spicy grid here. So we have, I think, 26 drivers. So Danny Boy, all you're probably aiming for here is a top 13 or even a top 15. If you get into the top 15, you should probably get yourself some positive points. So just try and stay out of trouble, learn the track a little bit, follow the lines of the people in front of you, and then you'll be fine. Owen Mars, yeah, he is supporting the TJJ, who is in P17. So he's in the Ferrari there, 4 seconds off the pace. It looks like his race is probably just trying to aim to get into the top 15, so let's see what he can do there. Only 5 drivers within a second of the leader, and only 2 of those drivers within 0.7 of a second of the leader. So it looks like this is, at the minute, a race between Krigmit and Ritz and Flitzer. But don't rule out a Tender Genie. He seems to be able to switch it up a gear when it comes into the actual race itself. So I'm looking forward to this one, guys. Also, if you are viewing the channel right now, or the Twitch channel, and you haven't already followed, if you like what you see or like what you hear, then please do drop me a follow. I do appreciate all the support. And if you are a first-time viewer of the channel, feel free to put a chat in. I love to talk to everybody. And also probably too much sometimes, because I get distracted and I forget to view the race. But yeah, feel free, if you're a first-time chatter, to pop a message in the chat. I'll say hello to you. And obviously, like I said, if you haven't followed, please do follow. And yeah, we have 1.5 minutes now before this 30-minute race around Suzuka. And yeah, we have a 1 mandatory pit stop for a splash and dash, just a fuel change, just for a fuel top up. You only need to put 1 litre in, but to be safe, I would say put 2 litres in, because obviously there is a glitch where sometimes it won't register your pit stop. So yeah, if you are listening and you are racing, please put 2 litres of fuel in your car. Danny Boy especially, don't be messing that up. Put 2 litres in. Oh, plus you haven't practiced the pit entry. That's going to be exciting for you. I predict Danny Boy to get a stop and go 30 penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Right, so let me walk you through to show you the timetable quickly. So it was actually, I like this when you see this. So there's 3 drivers, all with different fastest sectors. Ritz and Flitzer has the fastest first sector. Krigmit the fastest second, and Hope Blue has the fastest third sector. As you can see, there's only 2 drivers in the 1 minute 59s, and there's only actually 4 drivers in the 2 minutes. So I think the top 6 is probably roughly going to be, maybe even 7th for OGFX. That's probably where your podium battle is going to be, and then all of the rest down to probably Shadow Gaming, Mark Music. That's your sort of battle for the top 10. Maybe see if you can squeeze into the top 5.
10 seconds.
Attended Genie said he messed up the fuel. What do you mean? What did you do, Attended Genie? Oh no, you've underfueled your car, haven't you? Have you still got your quali fuel in? Oh, that's tragic. You're going to have to sit in the pit for so long. First time chatter, T Jizzle RS. Thanks, Owen Mars. You must be the TJJ. So, yeah, also a first-time chatter, T Jizzle. If you haven't followed already, please drop me a follow. But, yeah, wishing you all the best. You're in P17. I'm hoping to see you up in the battles to the top 10. Owen Mars just followed, so thank you for the follow, my guy. Attended Genie's only got 20 litres of fuel in. Oh, Attended Genie. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, the question is, you might have to go for, because I know you like to go long, Genie, but you're obviously, because you haven't got the right fuel, potentially for you then, maybe the strategy is going into the pits lap 1. Obviously, that 10-second stop's going to put you right at the back, but then you're going to have such clean air that might allow you to pump in really, really quick, fast lap times. So actually that could end up being your strategy. So maybe because I know you don't often do it, but maybe a lap 1 pit stop could be your strategy for today. Like I said, Danny Boy just needs to try and stay himself out of trouble. Remember, guys, if you are listening to the stream and you haven't, just make sure you put 2 litres of fuel in your pit stop. But let me walk you through the grid then, guys. So Krigmit is on pole in the 200 Ferrari, followed by Ritzenflitzer in second place in the number 8 McLaren. We have an all McLaren second row with a Tender Genie and is Hope Blue. Obviously, it just glitched there. And then we have, I think, Mr. Azon and Sabre on the sort of in 5th and 6th place. OGFX is in 7th with LSX Rossi alongside him in the 55 BMW. Sprightly said he'd be interested to see how the Mustangs get on. The highest Mustang out here today is the number 9th place 74 Orcadot. He is alongside Cug21 in rounding out the top 10. The second of the LSX drivers. There's a bit of a battle of the LSX drivers there in 8th and 11th in the 94 Ferraris, alongside our only PlayStation driver in Sebdal, so good luck to him. Shadow Gaming, who is practicing with a controller, is currently in 13th with Mark R Music in 14th. And then we have Glow Stakes rounding out the top 15 alongside one of my Twitch subscribers, Clint Trends, wishing him all the best in the 970 Ford. I'll also give him a bit of screen time, obviously. Got to support my supporters. The TJJ is in 17th alongside Drone Lander in an all Ferrari 9th row. And then we have the Suavest Drake and Game Cop Czar in 19th and 20th. Swaggy Path is in 21st with Keisu Kirito in 22nd. Sabre PC is in 23rd alongside Duff Racer in 24th. And then it's Danny Boy, who's never raced Suzuka before, has just been baited in by me in the chat to hop in last minute. He is in P25, hasn't practiced his pit stops before here, doesn't have any, idea of how to get the best out of the Ferrari around this track. So I'm wishing him all the best. Listen, if it's Danny Boy finishes in the top 15, I'll be absolutely buzzing for him. But again, he's another one of my Twitch subscribers. So obviously, I will be following him through today's race. Sprightly. Oh yeah, also guys, a bit of Southwest promotion here, but also to mention Sprightly here in the chat is also one of XCL's other broadcasters. There is 3 of us in total, but if you do click on Sprightly's name, please also drop him a follow, because when I'm not broadcasting, he is. So at least then you can catch up with more XCL action if you follow us both. So yeah, if you see Sprightly in the chat, feel free to follow him, and you can also catch up with some of his streams as well. So here we go then, guys. Come around the last corner now. Krigmit on pole position. Ritzenflitzer alongside him, who, I don't know which car's going to get the better drag. It's going to be a long old run down to that first corner. And sweeping right-hander, and obviously Ritzenflitzer in the McLaren versus the pace of the Ferrari. I don't know who's got the best downforce settings as well, but it'll be interesting to see how these two get on. And it is green light, go, go, go. It looks like Ritzenflitzer has had a good start. Actually, he might be cruising straight past the Ferrari already. And actually, it looks like that maybe a Tender Genie is going to try and capitalise as well. Actually, so that was Mr. Azon, but Ritzenflitzer does hold that wide line. It is forced Krigmit to maybe just hold the brakes a little bit there. Tender Genie is going to try and capitalise here as well. He's got back past Mr. Azon and is holding third place, but it is actually Ritzenflitzer in the McLaren that has taken the early initiative and got past Krigmit. Nice clean driving, it looks like at the front of the field. I can't see many yellow flags out there. There is a few at the back, naturally around this kind of circuit, because it is very hard to follow a train around all those S-bends, so I don't envy the drivers out there, but it is Ritzenflitzer, like I said, that has taken the initial lead. Mr. Azon is holding off in 4th place, and then it is the Ferrari of potentially Sabre, I think, behind, but obviously I'm just going to wait for the screen to reset itself and then we'll be able to catch up. As you know, anyone that's watched the stream before will know that they're brought... Oh, look at that. They're all absolutely going in head to toe there. Looks like Saber's potentially lost the position to one of the drivers. I can't see who that one is, but he has fallen down one position. But he's still in P6. My apologies. But as it is, Rossi actually that has caught up at the front. And then OGFX is still holding out there in the top 8. Sebdal in the PlayStation driver is also in that first train of 10 cars. And then Mark R Music, I think, has had a good start here because he finds himself in 11th place chasing down the front few drivers, but he's the start of the second row of cars. So actually the top 10 drivers are all absolutely head to toe. Look at this train of drivers. You've got Ritz and Flitzer, then Krigmit, then Attended Genie, then Hope Blue, then Mr. Azon, then Sabre, then Rossi, then OGFX, Sebdul and Orkadot. Look at that. That after one full lap of this race, every single one of those drivers is head to toe. This is fantastic. Looks like Sabre was trying to make a move here. Has he lost a position to OGFX there? Looks like Rossi there has gone wide, and he is going to let both those drivers pass. But I think it's OGFX has capitalised and taken 2 positions in 2 corners, and Sabre then has fallen in behind. So Sabre's up to go in the pits as well. So Attended Genie has gone for the strategy of knowing that he's going to have to pit, because he's made the fuel mistake wrong by only putting 20 litres in the car. He has now had to, he's going to have to stop for 10 seconds. So what Attended Genie is trying to do is pitting early, knowing he's going to come out at the back of the grid and come out into some clean air and obviously be able to pump in some good fast lap times. So be prepared to sort of watch Attended Genie climb up the order. Looking at the rest of the guys, actually just to mention here, it's Danny Boy, who said he has never raced Suzuka before, absolutely no practice, just dived in at the back end of qualifying, has got a few scuffs on that Ferrari, but does find himself currently in P15, chasing down Cug 21 in front of him. But looks like Danny Boy has slightly been in the wars there, but he might have, I don't know how much damage he's got, but he might have to message me when he's in the pits. But it's good to see him still out there as well. And the TJJ, who is being watched by Owen Mars, he finds himself up into top 10 currently as well, so good start by him. A lot of the drivers have pitted. Glow Stakes, Clint Trend, Sabre, both Sabres, Attended Genie, Drone Lander, Shadow Gaming, all of those drivers have opted to pit early in this race. LSX Rossi is trying to chase down OGFX here for what would be 5th place in this race. And also Hope Blue ahead is trying to chase down Mr. Azon for what would be the podium place in this race. So obviously there is a lot of drivers that have pitted early, so don't rule out those guys from coming up and being contenders later on. The more these guys battle, the slower it's going to be for everybody. Attended Genie saying pain, but at least you're out there, Attended Genie, and you can get back into this race. It looks like actually even with that 10-second pit stop, you've managed to stay ahead of so many drivers. That's good news for you. Is that right? Has he actually managed to... Yeah, he has. So Attended Genie, even with a 10-second stop to fill up the car enough to finish this race, has found himself as the second pit leader, only 3.4 seconds behind Sabre, and Sabre was sat in 5th place in the race. So that's actually worked out in Attended Genie's favour there, so that's good news for him. So just looking here, Duff Racer chasing down the Ford of Kasu Karuto. This is a battle for 16th and 17th here. I thought Duff Racer potentially was a Platinum Gold driver, but I'm thinking he's probably just a new driver, because sometimes the new drivers have the white banner as well. Spotty saying, come on, Beamers. Oh, as we see a guy in the wall there. Is that Orkadot in the wall? Yeah, Orkadot, who was out there in the top 10, has slammed it into the wall coming around the last corner here, so he's going to have some severe front-end damage. And you can see his bumper's completely crumpled there, so that Ford is absolutely mangled, and that is not going to be good news for him. And is that Sabre just in the background? So Sabre and Attended Genie will both know now that Orkadot ahead of them has got some severe damage, and also that is a driver that was in that top 10 position, so that is good news for them. That's one position they don't have to contend with later on in this race. Just to mention back at the front, Ritz and Flitzer is still holding the initial lead of this race. He has Krigmit behind him in second, only 0.8 of a second behind. So that's your McLaren-Ferrari battle there for first and second. And in the reverse of that Ferrari-McLaren battle, you have Mr. Azon in third and Hope Blue in fourth. So and also don't rule out OGFX and LSX Rossi just behind him 5th and 6th. There's so many good potential battles going to lead up there. Just looking at this one as well, Snaggy Path is looking like he's going to try and get past one of those Beamers of Game Cop. This would be a position and a pass to get himself up into the top 10. Owen Mars saying TJ is flying. He's up 8 places. Don't forget though, Owen, that a lot of drivers have pitted on lap 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers have all pitted on lap 1. So they will filter in later on. But it is good news for the TJ. He is up there in P9 trying to chase down Mark R Music for what would be 8th place in this race. Snaggy Path still trying to put pressure on that BMW ahead of him. And then Cug 21 is now obviously just behind him as well. It looks like it's Danny Boy is maybe fallen off the back of those drivers. No, he's still doing his best to keep up here. But yeah, it's Danny Boy currently in 14th. He's holding his own out there. He's not... he looks like he's competitive. So yeah, good luck to him as the race unfolds. Clint Trends must have... I don't know if Clint Trends has accidentally pitted for tyres, do you think? Because Clint Trends is down in 24th. He was up there. He had a good qualifying session. I thought he was maybe looking like he could be in for a battle for the top 10. Let's not rule him out. He's 13.7 seconds off the back of Sabre currently. So when he comes on the next couple of corners, let's just ride with him for a second. So he's 13.7 seconds back currently. Let's see if he's got some good pace, because when he comes around this next corner, we'll be able to see him go across the timing line, and we'll see what that improves up to. So we do know that Sabre is 3 seconds off the back of Shadow Gaming. Shadow Gaming is battling with a controller, but as Clint Trends comes across the line, the timing line, sorry, he sets, what is he now? 13.7 still, so he's actually on pace with Sabre. Orkadot has opted to come in the pits now. Duff Racer now right up on the back of, oh no, it looks like he was on the back of the Ford, but unless he's had a crash here somewhere. He said he was half a second ahead behind Kasu, but it doesn't look like he is anymore, so I think he's probably had a crash, and that's allowed... oh no, is it Kasu who's had a crash? So it looks like Kasu has had an accident now there, because he's now fallen down the order, and Duff Race has moved up to 14th. Oh no, that is a who's at the McLaren? That's the 95 McLaren. That is Suavis Drake, has gone slamming into the wall, so he's going to have damage as well now. That's good news for the drivers behind. Is that Attender Genie come up behind? So Attender Genie's going to have to get past him fast, but he does know that that driver has just hammered himself head first into a wall, so he is going to have some damage as he goes wide on that corner as well. I think this should be easy business for Attender Genie, as he is trying to chase down Sabre ahead. But looking at this, it looks like Attender Genie has dropped off the back of Sabre, because he's now 7.5 seconds back. I fully expect that that guy ahead to actually pass quite quickly. Sorry, so to get away, he probably go to the pit, so he has got damage. Who else have we got that's doing a battle right now? It looks like it's a battle between Cug and Snaggy Path. It looks like Cug has now made his way past up into the top 10. But Owen Mars, your boy the TJJ, is holding firm in that lovely yellow Ferrari. He's 2.5 seconds off the back of Mark R Music, but he's not falling back. He's not gaining anything, so he's got himself into a nice little rhythm here. Just to mention, actually, sorry, as well, Hope Blue is right up on the back of Mr. Azon for the battle of 3rd and 4th. Look at this here. This is a battle for the podium places. And you can see... What do we have there? That is Ritz and Flitzer there. That's Krigmit ahead, and then all of a sudden, then we have Mr. Azon and Hope Blue. It is a McLaren versus Ferrari, Ferrari versus McLaren here. This is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th separated. You know, they're literally all on the same screen here. So this is a good bit of battling. Actually, it looks like the TJJ has clawed a little bit of time off of Mark R Music. He is getting closer, Owen. He is getting closer, so you never know. We might see him move up into 8th if he can keep this pressure on. It looks like, yeah, because now we can kind of see that Porsche is starting to fire up a little bit. But just to mention here, Sabre is the man on the move currently. He is just going to try and make his way past Duff Racer here now to get himself up into P15. It looks like the BMW ahead of Gamer Cop as he goes really wide there as well. So this is not going to be the greatest news for Sabre, but those two drivers ahead, one looks like he's got the pace on Duff, and then obviously Game Cop has got damage here. So if he can get past both of those, as you can see, Duff Racer goes diving straight off the track, late braked himself, knew the pressure from Sabre, sorry, is coming, and then obviously in the background there, so it looks like Queso has got past Duff Racer as well. So, as he goes on the track as well, Attender Genie's going to get caught up behind this as well. So it looks like, yeah, he's going to go around the outside of that one. Great overtake there by Attender Genie, and can he get himself past Katso Carito? So like I said, Sabre is the net pit leader, and then we have Attender Genie behind as he gets past as well. So this is your first two drivers here making their way through the field. Drone Lander then is the 3rd place pitted driver with Shadow Gaming in 4th, Sabre, and then Clint Trends and Glow Stakes. So those are drivers that have pitted, but with 20 minutes to go, we do still have, so does it look like, is that Hope Blue got past the Ferrari there? It looks like Hope Blue has now made his way past Mr. Azon. But yeah, sorry, with 20 minutes to go, we still have the top 14 drivers to pit here. But Hope Blue has now made his way past Mr. Azon. So the question is Ritz and Flitzer and Krigmit battling through this pack going to allow Hope Blue to close up on the back of them? So we can see here Ritz and Flitzer trying desperately to get past this Mercedes. That is the Mercedes of Glow Stakes, last place driver currently. He should be getting blue flags here. as these guys are really going to want him to get out of the way soon, because Ritz and Flitzer is got an opportunity here to potentially win another race, which I don't know if he has won a race yet, but either way, it's yeah, I don't know, is he just struggling to get past that Mercedes, or is that Mercedes just ignoring the blue flags here? I imagine he's going to get out of the way going into the chicane. You can see here, first and second separated by less than half a second. As you can see, Ritz and Flitzer getting frustrated now. He's flashing those lights, but that car is not getting out of the way. He's compromising Ritz and Flitzer's entry and exit here. He will get the slipstream down into the first corner, but yeah, this Mercedes is not playing ball for the first two drivers ahead. And Glow Stakes is a lap driver here, as we can see Krigmit trying to maybe sneak out ahead. Yeah, again, that Mercedes is really holding up these two drivers now. Ritz and Flitzer is probably going to be getting increasingly annoyed and prepared to see some stuff in the Discord chat afterwards. I'm going to stay with this one for a second, because this might be a change of the lead of this race, because, like I said, these guys are getting held up by this Mercedes. He has already flashed his lights once. Looks like Hope Blue isn't as necessarily as he's gone right off the track there. And yeah, that's allowed Ritz and Flitzer now to be released. But Hope Blue will have caught up massively there, unless the Mercedes now holds him up in turn. Down the order then, guys, what has been going on? It's Danny Boy currently in P13. He's only 1.9 seconds behind LSX Pato here. Oh, sorry, LSX Pats, sorry. It's Danny Boy having a good race here in P13, but remember, he still has to pit, so I don't know exactly where he's going to come out at the end of the race, but as long as he can keep it on the racetrack for the next 16 minutes, he should have a relatively good race. Anyone want to hazard a guess in the chats, guys, who they think potentially might take the podium or the race win here? Let me know your thoughts on how the race is unfolding so far. Just to have a check in on our other boy, Clint Trends. Clint Trends is still holding firm against Sabre. So I don't know what happened to Clint. I'm guessing he must have had... obviously, I'm sure he'll pop in the chat afterwards and let us know. But yeah, Clint was up there in mid-table in qualifying. And he now he either has damage, or he's obviously pitted for tyres accidentally, and obviously that's forced him right down the order. Also, to have a look at Shadow Gaming as well. So Shadow Gaming is currently racing with a controller. I don't know if that's because his rig is broken. I'm not sure why he's switched from rig racing to controller, but you can see him out there currently in P20. It is quite a hard transition to go from steering wheel to controller unless you're used to it. I often race with a controller just because I can't bother to set up my rig, but yeah, Shadow Gaming here trying to chase down Drone Lander for 19th place. Duff Racer still on the back of Kasu Kirito here. This is a battle for 17th and 18th. You can see Drone Lander just in the background there. The field has started to spread itself out a little bit. And again, look at this. So Owen, the TJJ, is now going, he is now, what, 1.4 seconds behind Mark Music. So we knew a couple laps ago it was 2.5 seconds. Now it's only 1.5 seconds. And very, very shortly, he will start to get the toe of that Porsche. And that's going to claw him in closer and closer. So, yeah, this is looking good for the TJJ. Owen Mar saying, we are cooking, boys. We hit the halfway point in this race, and the TJJ is looking lively. He's looking like he's going to start catching up here. Also, a shout out to Pants McGee 88. Love that name, Pants McGee, with the follow. Thank you very much for that. If you are watching the stream, just feel free to say hello in the chat. But the TJJ is the man trying to close down. Look at that. Now it's 1.4, now it's 1.2. The TJJ is getting closer. Like I said, now he's going to start getting the toes. Now Mark Music is starting to feel the pressure. You can see that Ferrari getting closer and closer. He just steps out onto the curb on the right-hand side. That's really going to let the TJJ smell blood now. He's hunting like a shark. He's getting closer and closer. He's biding his time, but now he's right up in the toe. How is the TJJ going to react to this potentially possible passing opportunity? Is he going to remain calm? Is he going to do anything silly? Let's find out. We'll just say this battle for a second. I don't know if maybe Mark, our music, is going to opt to go in the pits, or whether the TJJ is going to try and undercut here, but this is a battle for 8th and 9th. They've got a 10-second gap on the driver behind as well, so they're not going to tumble that massively down the order. Yeah, Pants McGee 88 saying, hey, first time chatter. Welcome, Pants. Are you an XCL driver, or are you just here just supporting us, just watching some live streams on Twitch? Let me know. But the TJJ now less than a second, guys. We know Owen's going to be... Pants McGee is a Danny Boy fan, is he? Fair enough. He's the husband. Look at that. So Mark Music knew that the TJJ was catching up, and he's forced him to go into the pit. So the TJJ, if he can pump in a couple of lap times now, watch out for him, because he might now try the undercut. Back at the front, Krigmit is trying all he can to get back past Ritz and Flitzer, but Ritz and Flitzer does have the fastest lap of the race, and Krigmit is in, just trying his best to get through, but he's been about between half a second and a second all race long. So Pants McGee out here cheering on It's Danny Boy, following all of the pit stops ahead. It's Danny Boy has finally made himself up into the top 10. He has got 7 seconds up to catch up on Snaggy Path ahead, but you can see all the damage on the Danny Boy's car. He has he's obviously been in the wars a little bit. We did kind of challenge It's Danny Boy to see if he could finish in the top 15. We will only know how he's going to get on a bit later on once everyone has pitted as well as himself, but a lot of the drivers like to stay out for as long as possible, just in case, to kind of counter off any kind of potential crashes. But Katsuka, Kirito and Duff Racer have now both gone to the pits as well, promoting Shadow Gaming up to 17th. Game Cop has still got to go in P14 as well. But up at the front here, it's worth mentioning that Mr. Azon has now got back past Hope Blue. So this battle for the final podium spot is continuing to rage on. But like I said, OGFX is only 2 seconds behind, and then LSX Rossi behind him, only another 3 seconds behind him. So any kind of mistake in here, and there might be a few little, there still might be a few twists in this tail. Attended Genie now. I said Attended Genie has got past Sabre here. So it's Attended Genie. Either Sabre's made a mistake, or Attended Genie has turned it up a notch. But actually, Attended Genie is now the net pit leader of this race. So what I mean by that is obviously, like, of all the drivers that have pitted, he is the leader of all of them. We have now had over half the field pit. Suarez Drake in 23rd. I think that we did start with 26 drivers in this race, and Suarez Drake. So we have lost a few. But the TJJ has now opted to pit here. Oh, this is the exciting one. We're going to cover this for Owen. So we can see here Mark Music coming down to the back end of the track. I can also see that the number 23 car is still moving in the pit lane. Did the number 23 car practice his pit stop? So it's Danny Boy's in the pits, Snaggy Path's in the pits, the TJJ's in the pits. Now, where is the TJJ going to come out in relation to this? He hasn't actually finished his pit stop yet. Is he somewhere near the front? The TJJ is still stationary, so I don't know if he's had a really, really bad pit stop, because I think Mark Music is going to easily cruise past him here. Because, oh no, has the TJJ accidentally changed tyres? Did he forget to turn his tyre change off, guys? He has been stationary for so long. Mark R Music is going around the first couple of corners. Is that an absolute amateur mistake by the TJJ? Because that's allowed there's Danny Boy to get past, Dronan to get past. Like, TJJ is still sat in the pits. He's changed his tyres. Oh, I've done it myself. It is horrible. It's a horrible experience when that happens. So he's opted, so basically what he's done is he's gone in the pits and he's forgotten to take his tyre change off. So rather than have a 2-second pit stop, he's now have to have a half a minute pit stop. And that has absolutely ruined his race. As we can see, sorry, Attended Genie has moved up to P7 here, sorry. But look at that. The TJJ down in 17th place. Where's it? It's Danny Boy came out here. It's Danny Boy. Where's he settled into this here? I think is that Shadow Racing behind. Yeah, so actually Shadow Gaming is in 14th. It's Danny Boy is in 13th here. So somehow it's Danny Boy, who hasn't had any practice, didn't qualify, has never raced Suzuka before, and he currently finds himself in a battle for 13th and 14th here, as he's chasing down the number 12 car of LSX Pats. So it's Danny Boy, if he can stay out of trouble for the next 10 minutes, will get himself not only a positive XCL rating bonus, but also a great bit of experience for Suzuka. I know he's coming back here to race on Monday, but let's see what this Danny Boy can do over the next few laps. He's got a car ahead of him he can chase down. He's got a car behind him, but this is looking good. Owen Mars saying he doesn't know how not to change it. Oh my God, he hasn't practiced his pit stops. Well, it's only going to happen once, Owen. But he's had an absolute nightmare. He qualified in 17th, and after having an absolute cracking race, he now finds himself up. And look, because Owen, we know that that the TJJ had really good. Sorry, I was just looking here. So Sabre gets his way back past the Tender Genie, sorry, for what is the battle for 7th and 8th here. But what I was saying there is that we know that the TJJ had the pace on Mark R Music. Mark R Music, following the pit stops, is in P10. Oh, the JJ could have had a top 10 finish here, but he's absolutely thrown it away. What a absolute noob mistake. That is crazy. But it happens to the best of us. I've done it myself, so I'm a noob as well. Attended Genie saying it went. What went? Attended Genie. Oh no. Attended Genie's crashed. His wheel's gone. Attended Genie's out. Anyone that's watched these streams before will know that Attended Genie, his wheel will just turn off all of a sudden. That is absolutely slammed him into a wall. You can't even see him. He's absolutely disappeared off the face of the earth. But Attended Genie's going to be absolutely gutted there. So, Krigmit goes in the pits here. Big news at the front, guys. Krigmit has gone in the pits. He was chasing down Ritzenflitzer for the lead of this race. Is he trying some sort of undercut here? But yeah, Ritzenflitzer will now know that the second place driver has gone in the pits. Where will he come out in relation to Sabre? Sabre's at the back end of the track here. Bad news for Tender Genie. He's going to be really gutted with that one, but that is good news for the likes of It's Danny Boy and Shadow Gaming, etc., because they are going to get an automatic place promotion. Again, this is also bad news for the TJJ, because he'd have been right up there in 9th place now. Owen Mars saying heading off now for Spain, Croatia. Yep, but good luck everyone. No worries, Owen. Enjoy the football. Owen, he's had the game for like 3 days. Let the boy off. But generally, how do you turn the tire part off the pit stop? Basically, when you're in the pits, just to let you guys know, you just go down with the D-pad, and then you just press left on the option, and then basically it'll just turn it off. That's it. So if he listens back, he'll know that. But Mark R Music here having a fantastic race in P9. We still have 5 drivers left to pit with 6.5 minutes left. Hope Blue still can't get back past Mr. Azon. Mr. Azon looking like he could potentially get himself a P3 finish here. I don't know where. So Krigmit has come out ahead of Sabre. Sabre is some way back down the order. So I don't know where that's going to... Sabre will find himself filtering in somewhere between 3rd, 4th and 5th, I'd imagine. It's Danny Boy still doing well here. So It's Danny Boy isn't closing up the gap to LSX Pats, but he has got Shadow Gaming with that controller just behind him here. But like I said, Danny's boy target really was only to try and finish in the top 15. As he does go a bit wide there, is that going to allow Shadow Gaming to try and creep around the outside? This is just track knowledge. He's just learning every single lap. He can't necessarily, he hasn't necessarily set the car up properly as well. So It's Danny Boy won't even have the correct pressures really probably, but he's trying his best out there. And It's Danny Boy is holding on firm here, and Shadow Gaming is trying to work his way past. This is a BMW versus Ferrari battle here. As we can see that Ritzenflitzer and Mr. Azon have now both pitted, so we'll see where they come out with Krigmit as well. Krigmit here coming around the last couple of corners now actually. So is he going to come out in front here? It doesn't look like... no, Ritzenflitzer has finished his pit stop and he is coming out of the pit lane, but Krigmit is coming down the straight here. Krigmit is miles behind Ritzenflitzer here. So he was only 0.8 of a second, and that little extra stop, I say miles behind, it's probably about 2 or 3 seconds, but Ritzenflitzer is still holding that net lead of the race. Pants McGee saying he set up the car in minutes. It was funny to watch. I imagine he was quite frantically trying to get the car all sorted out when he only had literally less than 2 minutes to set the car up. Attended Genie saying, by the way, heads up, Mr. Azon and Hope Blue are teammates with me. So why don't they have the little team name thing on their car? But this is a good day for Attended Genie's team then, with Hope Blue in first currently, but he's net 4th, and then Mr. Azon as well in what was net 3rd at the minute. There was a driver on the side of the road there. That's the number 35 car of Game Cop. He is down in 21st at the minute. Shadow Gaming is still right up behind it. Standing Boy here. This is a battle for 12th and 13th. It's one of the closest battles out on track currently. They have got good pace though, because it doesn't look like the McLaren behind is catching up that fast. Sabre PC behind in the green McLaren is catching up, but not drastically. And yeah, it's Danny Boy just cannot seem to keep up the pace at the minute of LSX Pats, but he is doing a good job of defending against Shadow Gaming currently. OGFX and Hope Blue have now both opted to come in the pits with 3 minutes 30 to go. So where is Sabre going to come out in relation to these drivers? This is the question we have at the minute. Attended saying they aren't VIP staff. Fair enough. That makes sense then. Maybe XCL can do a thing where the drivers can pay for... if they pay like a subscription or something, maybe they can get their name put on there. Maybe that's the way to get more Twitch subscribers. I'll speak to Clarp T on that one. Ritz and Flitzer at the front. He has got that Mercedes back in between them both here. It looks like the number 13 car of Hope Blue has got ahead of OGFX. Where's Mr. Azon and all this? Mr. Azon must have had a really poor pit stop because he's actually down now in P6. So Sabre is coming down the back straight now. He's the passing on his back max at the start wasn't the easiest thing for him to do. So it looks like Tender Genie would have probably been 7th or 8th as well. But actually, yeah, Hope Blue is... He's not in the lead of this race. I think they just need to go over the timing screen. So when they go over in a second, you'll see, yeah, there you go. So Ritz and Flitzer's in the lead with 2 minutes 18 seconds to go, which means as he crosses the line next time round, that will be the last lap of the race. Krigmit 2.5 seconds behind. Looks like he's destined to finish P2 here. Hope Blue is now up into P3, but he has 5-second lead over OGFX in 4th place here, so that should be a comfortable P4. Mr. Azon is holding 5th place here. He's got past LSX Rossi for 6th place. Sabre's currently holding P7 here ahead of the only PlayStation driver of Sebdal in the 149 McLaren. Mark Music is in P9, 12.9 seconds back with Drone Lander rounding out the top 10. So good race here by Drone Lander. LSX Pats is in 11th with It's Danny Boy behind him, 2 seconds back. Shadow Gaming is right up the back of It's Danny Boy's Gearbox in P13 with Sabre just behind, 2 seconds back in P14. Snaggy Path is in P15 here with the TJJ trying to make his way past up into the top 15, which will still be a good recovery drive by the TJJ. Clint Trends, now all the pit stops have happened, has finds himself up into P17. So good job there, Clint. You've got 1.5 seconds to potentially get yourself up into the... so you're 1.5 seconds behind with 1 minute to go, sorry, to get yourself up into the top 15. Glow Stakes here is in P18 with Katso Carito in 19th here. He has Game Cop behind him, 5.3 seconds back. Duff Racer is in 21st here, about a second back from Game Cop with Suavis Drake in P22, having not yet pitted. I don't know if he's aware that he has to pit, but I imagine he'll go in the pit this lap here. Suavis Drake didn't have a great race out here today. But yeah, back at the front, we do know, like I said, the Ritz and Flitzer is on pole. Where is the main battle? The main battle out here at the minute is the battle between It's Danny Boy and Shadow Gaming. But it looks like It's Danny Boy has dropped Shadow Gaming and also found himself a second on LSX Pats. So don't rule out a potential pass here for 11th place with 1 lap to go. But this is where the main action is between 11th, 12th and 13th. Oh, and 14th, sorry. Oh, it looks like LSX Pats has gone wide there, and that's going to allow Danny Boy right up onto the back. Can Danny Boy potentially on the last lap here make himself a pass to get up a little bit further up the grid? Clint Trends is in P17, but he's now dropped back 2.4 seconds, so it doesn't look like he's going to get that one done. But yeah, the TJ... Oh, no, he is. No, he's still close again, so yeah, he is back up there again. So they must have just had maybe a slow corner there. This is a battle here for 14th, 15th and 16th, and then we also had the battle for 11th, 12th and 13th and 14th. So some good battles going at the back here. The front is pretty much done. Normally I'd have to follow the front battle, but I'm not going to do it today because obviously we do know that it's pretty much going to finish as it is. There's a lot of space between all the drivers out there. So at the minute it's LSX Pats holding off It's Danny Boy. It's Danny Boy now only half a second behind. It's Danny Boy has turned this race up a notch, and he has got... just over half a lap or 2/3 of a lap to go to maybe make a move on Pats. Is Pats going to be able to handle the pressure of having that fry right up behind him now? And that is also Drone Lander just ahead as well. So just congratulations to Ritz and Flitzer for winning here. Krigmit for second. Hope Blue will take the last podium spot. So guys, I just didn't realise they were that close to the finish there. But yeah, as we said, it is pretty straightforward at the front here with OGFX. Then we'll take 4th place. And then Mr. Azon will round out the top 5. But the main battle that we're keeping an eye on at the minute is the battle for 11th, 12th and 13th. with the Ferrari of It's Danny Boy just behind Pat. And then behind that we have the TJJ trying to get past Swaggy Path with Clint Trends there as well. So we'll cover that one as soon as we get past this one. With a couple of corners to go, unless Pats makes a mistake on the final corner, it will be a 12th place finish here for Danny Boy, 11th for Pats, 13th for Shadow Gaming, which isn't a bad drive, Shadow Gaming, considering you're using a controller. So yeah, well done there. But this is a good little tight battle between 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th. It's Danny Boy now closing down. A couple of corners to go. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen here. So yeah, it is as you were. Yeah, they all get through cleanly. So Pats will take 11th, Danny Boy 12th, Shadow Gaming 13th, Sabre 14th. But it is still the TJJ. The TJJ is making a move on Snaggy Path, going down into the final chicane. These two are going to be, so they've got the sweeping left-hander. Oh no, it looks like he has made that move. Is Snaggy Path going to try and dive back past? Clint Trends is hoping they're going to crash into each other so he can cruise through and take a top 15 place. But Snaggy Path has lost that position to the TJJ. And the TJJ will take a top 15 place considering he pitted for tyres, which is unfortunate for him. Clint Trends will then round out the field with a P17 finish. Again, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he had maybe had a pit stop mistake there as well. But yeah, the TJJ will be happy with a P15 finish. Snaggy Path 16th, Clint Trends 17th. Shout out to Mark Music, I said, with that P9 finish as well. With the PlayStation driver of Sebdal in 8th. Sabre with a 7th place finish, Rossi in 6th. And then Jonan, like I said, rounding out the top 10. But that was a good race by a lot of people there. Ritz and Flitz saying great broadcasting. Well done, Ritz and Flitz, on your win. Your pace has got really good recently, so it's always good and a pleasure to watch you. Also, shout out to Wolf Ridian, who has followed. Thank you for the follow, Wolf. Yeah, so congratulations to the podium. Ritz and Flitzer with the fastest lap and the win. Krigmit in second, Hope Blue in third. But yeah, great racing, guys. Really awesome to watch. And I will catch you all again next time. So bye for now.